Here with us in the classroom. Welcome to Bloom College. Welcome to those at home. Tonight we've got a few technical issues, so our fancy camera is not being so fancy and lovely. So it's old school. Not that there's really old school on Facebook though, is there? Alright, so welcome to Bloom TV. We have a very special Mother's Day special tonight, and we're going to be showcasing some of what would be perfect as Mother's Day gifts, all flower-wise, of course, and some tips and advice for florists and those learning floristry to become those in the trade, but also for maybe people at home who want to make something for mum and just want some tips, ideas, or inspiration. So I'm very fortunate to have two special guests here tonight, Kate and Isabel. And Isabel is going to be a mum very soon.
Yes, very soon.
And so both Kate and Isabel have studied at Bloom College, and so are fellow flower lovers, and and doing great things in the industry and on social media as well. So I know you're getting some followers there, and people are really loving what you're doing. So thank you for sharing that. One of the other things that I want to share with you tonight as well, some people may have already seen them in the stores. We've got some of the beautiful Maxwell and Williams new teacup range, so brought out beautifully at Mother's Day. And we're very fortunate because they have given us some to work with our workshops, upcoming workshops. And we've put together a special workshop for them, their preferred clients and staff as well. So we welcome them and welcome Maxwell & Williams and the gorgeous teacup range. So I've put together here, this is what, so Holly, if you're watching at home, this will be my Mother's Day breakfast. Thank you very much. So not terribly healthy, but very lovely. So I'll enjoy that, thanks Holly. And so what's going to happen tonight is that we welcome any questions that you've got at home, and those here are going to pose any questions or comments that they may have as well. So either to myself, the team here at Bloom College, and also Kate and Isabel as well. So for those who are at home, you can't see, but we've got lovely Georgie and Nicole here with us, and they're helping to make it all happen tonight. So a bit of sort of, I don't know, I guess background, I don't know when Mother's Day started, I probably should know, but I haven't gone into researching that. But as a mother, I think it's a very good thing that we have Mother's Day. And of course, as a florist, I think it's a very good thing that we've always had Mother's Day. It's something that of course we should always pay homage and respect and show gratitude to the mothers of the world. But it is nice to have one particular special day that we do that as well. So, when we're thinking about flowers for mum, it's really important to think about what are the colours, and I find that's what a lot of clients tend to sort of come with to us as florists first, is that they know what colour mum really loves best. Sometimes they know what flowers mum really likes best as well. And then as a florist, it's our job to decide, well, okay, how is that going to fit together, and what's the best possible thing that we can do for them. So when I had a florist store and used to work in florist shops, one of my biggest joys was when children would come in and actually pick the flowers themselves for mum. It was just always really sweet. And a gorgeous thing. Now I know you have both got your mums in mind tonight in making these arrangements. So one of the things that I'd love to know is some of the inspiration and thoughts around the arrangements. So maybe we start with you, Kate. If you wanted to talk about what you're going to make and maybe the inspiration for that.
Yeah, sure. So I noticed that a lot of Mother's Day arrangements tend to be pinks and purples and beautiful soft colours, but my mum prefers reds and sort of more earth tones, and I thought that'd be quite appropriate during the season as well.
Gorgeous.
I'm just going to do an arrangement into foam, and I'm trying to incorporate lots of different textures as well. She likes really bold designs.
Excellent. Right, thank you. And I'll also just put forward as well, sorry I forgot to mention, for those at home, because we're not using our fabulous camera tonight, and it has a really good speaker. You may not hear some of the questions and things, so we'll repeat the questions that are said here. And if there's anything that you don't hear at home, if you can pop it into the comments, because we're more than happy to repeat anything. So maybe let us know that you can hear us to begin with. We'll check out the comments and make sure you can hear us. So that'd be great. Thanks, Kate. Isabel.
Yes.
Talk us through firstly what you're going to make and your inspiration for it.
Okay, so I'm doing some floral letters. I wasn't sure what to do when you said, do a Mother's Day arrangement. So I'd seen some things like this on Instagram and Pinterest. And I don't know, I'm sorry Mum you're watching, but I don't know if it's inspired by you. I did last week a big thing for my mum's birthday. So she had all her favourite freesias.
Oh, lovely.
We did beautiful arrangements for her then. But she does she probably like this with the vintage kind of colours in it. She really likes that. So yes, we've done the MU and we'll be doing the M, and then we're doing a love heart as well.
Beautiful. Great. Look forward to seeing the end of that. Terrific. Okay, so the ladies will get started on their arrangements now. I'm going to jump on and have a look and see and make sure that you can hear us at home. And any questions, feel free to post them now. I also wanted to add that both Kate and Isabel, as part of being here tonight, would like to say thanks by giving you, or making you, I should say, lifetime members of the Bloomers Club. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. And welcome to all our Bloomers members as well, and butters. Right. So as the ladies are getting ready and starting their arrangements, I'll enjoy watching those, and I'll check out what comments we've got. You're starting with some beautiful tropical leaves there.
I love the different colours.
Yeah, stunning, aren't they?
Beautiful. Yeah.
And so, as we're going along, it might be helpful, particularly with your arrangement, because I'm guessing it's going to be a one-side arrangement, Kate?
Front facing, yeah.
So, if you don't mind, we might just keep swiveling every now and then with the Lazy Susan. Thanks, Angie. You can hear us. That's terrific. Thank you. Thanks, Ebony and Courtney. That's great to know. And so you've got some beautiful local roses there, Isabel.
Yep. Some grandiflora ones.
Yeah, the grandiflora. So they're a local grown, hothouse grown rose.
Yep.
They're stunning.
Beautiful.
Can you remember the name of that variety, Georgie? Or is it written on there?
It's the Sweet Avalanche.
Sweet Avalanche.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. So we might get a close up of that at some stage. It's such a pretty rose. Very nice. And we've got some twisted willow here going into the centre of your design. Beautiful.
So I'm just trying to establish a bit of a backing.
Yep.
And put the taller things in first.
Okay, great. Excellent. And so what Isabel's doing at the moment is that she's needing to cut her rose heads very, very short for this design, which makes a lot of people wince. But it's as you I guess do more and more floristry, you just get really comfortable with doing that because you know that that's what's required to achieve the design that you're after. So don't be afraid to do that. And of course, making any wide type of arrangements, we need to do that anyway. We need to take them off.
Yeah, perhaps sort of winced when I first started.
Yeah.
chopping that much off. But yeah,
Yes.
you do get used to it.
And so what I remember about starting floristry was that I almost always cut things too long. Like I didn't take enough off
definitely
because
do
I
that.
just felt like I was massacring it, and that it just couldn't be right to have to take that much off. But yeah, it's necessary. But then you get very comfortable, don't you?
Okay.
And so what inspired you to get into learning floristry, Isabel?
I'm not sure. I think I'd done sort of like botanical illustration and that sort of thing,
Yes.
and was looking for another botanical inspired creative
Yeah,
pursuit. And there's possibly from like my research at work as well with like people who love cooking and
Yes.
and working with their hands in that way. But unfortunately, I don't love cooking, so I was looking for a different thing kind of creative manual
Yeah,
pursuit.
sure.
And so I
Yeah.
thought, well, I do love the flowers, so that makes sense.
Always makes me feel better when other people say they don't like cooking either.
Yeah, because I thought when researching these people, it was going to make me
Yes.
then love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And is that research, is that what formed your book? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you, Isabel, published a book? How long ago was that?
It was 2013, late
Yeah, okay.
2013.
Yeah,
Yep.
terrific. Yeah. And so did you want to spruik the book as well?
Food and the Self. It's on Amazon and Book Depository and all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. So we'll put a link up to that actually.
Oh, thank you.
And what we'll also do, we'll put a link to Kate and Isabel's Instagram accounts as well, so you can follow them there if you'd like as well. The beautiful autumn leaves. They're stunning, aren't they?
Gorgeous tones.
Yeah. Very nice. And so will this be a gift for Mum?
Well, it would have been, but she's going on holiday to Norfolk Island.
Oh, very nice.
She is very keen on patchworking.
Yep.
And there's a group on Norfolk Island, so she's going to do classes with them.
Yeah, great.
And she's going to miss Mother's Day, so lucky me. Keep this one.
You get to keep it. Fabulous. Very good. And what inspired you to get into learning floristry?
It's a good question. There were lots of different things, I think. When I was at school, I had always had a really creative background and really enjoyed doing anything to do with being creative. So I did lots of acting and dancing and visual arts as well, lots of different types of mediums.
Yeah.
And then did something a bit more sensible for my career, and whilst I really, really enjoy it, I just felt like I was really missing a special
creative
type of a creative outlet, but
Yeah.
also I feel like I get a special type of reward from
Yeah,
the
sure.
creative stuff.
Mm.
I find I kind of just lose myself in it.
Yeah. Yes, that's
Totally.
so
Yeah.
true. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's something that I think that's the joy of floristry, isn't it? Is that that it just can transport you to somewhere else. That's always a nice place. That's coming along nicely. Might spin that around and get a good look. Look at colourings through these leaves. They're just gorgeous. Very, very nice. So autumn's such a nice time for flowers. I find autumn and spring most definitely best. And Mother's Day is one of my favourite of all of the big busy days within the floristry industry because of the range of flowers that we get to work with. You know, because it's not hot, we get to use the beautiful tulips and iris and hyacinth and freesia and all those beautiful flowers. But you know, we still have well, there's sort of still dahlias around, isn't there? Have you got any at the farm at the moment, or are they just finished?
No, we've still got some dahlias.
Still got some dahlias?
It's not
They're just
looking
hanging
their
on.
best.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah. So,
But the Hellebores have just started,
Oh.
which is really exciting.
so
And
beautiful.
we've got rows and rows of Queen Anne lace, which
Yeah.
is so beautiful to see.
It's gorgeous,
in
isn't it?
shape, yeah.
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 So there's so many pretty things to work with on Mother's Day.
There is, and I had to work myself up to what I was going to do when I couldn't go and pick dahlias.
Yeah.
So I had to go and walk around the whole farm and think, okay, it's all right, George, we can do Hellebores next.
Yes. Keeps you going.
I've got to finish next.
Oh, that's great. So, of course, as always on every Bloom TV, we have prizes and giveaways, not just for the presenters, but for those at home and here with us tonight as well. So I'm going to pose some questions to you at the end, or near the end, and I promise I won't run out of time this time. I'll get those questions, and then it's usually, depending on the question though, it'll be who, fastest comment or fastest response to those questions. So you can just post your answers into the feed. Now here, of course, you've got the opportunity to just yell out your answer. But yeah, I'll leave it up to you. If you want to log on and post it in the comments, you're welcome to do that as well. So we'll have some prizes and giveaways. We've got some Bloom College single workshops as prizes. And then also our newest online course, which is called Flower Fundamentals. That will be available as one of the prizes as well. So listen up, because the questions will relate to tonight's topics.
But they're not about Kate
They could be.
Oh, okay. Can we
But you
enter?
can't. No. So that's coming along nicely, Isabel. Thank you. Yeah.
They're beautiful, these roses.
Yeah, they're really lovely. And very fresh. From today, Tuesday's market, I suspect.
Yes.
Excellent.
Do you get your flower in Epping Market?
A lot of them come through there. Some go direct from the grower to our suppliers, but many end up going, through the market at some point. Yeah. So we have a range of suppliers and some wonderful suppliers that we work with. All right. So thanks for joining us, Louise. I can see there. You said you joined late and what are the lovely ladies doing? So just to give you a quick recap, we are working on some beautiful Mother's Day inspired arrangements. So one of the things I think that can make Mother's Day a lot easier for florists is preparation. So it's having a lot of hands on deck, but also being really well prepared. And so some of the ways that florists can do that is by getting things like containers all ready to go. You can get Oasis pre-soaked. As far as bouquets go, you can actually make just the base ahead of time. So you could make a foliage base. Don't put any flowers in it yet, and just have the bases ready, stored into a dry, cool place, or even a cool room if you have the fortune of having one of those. And then you can add the flowers later on. So many ways, and something that I'd love for people watching at home as well, if you've got tips and advice on Mother's Day and how to make it as smooth as possible rather than a stressful experience for florists, then please post away anything that you've seen, done or heard, or as I said, done yourself would be terrific. This is coming along very nicely. Excellent. And then of course, getting as many arrangements pre-ordered as possible is extremely helpful. So incentives, putting forward some incentives for your customers to want to pre-order, because many, many times people don't actually think of Mother's Day until it's Mother's Day. And so the more pre-orders that you have, the better and easier, and things just seem to flow a lot better. But of course we will still have, and we need to be prepared for many people the day before and on the day. So as many things pre-done is better. Very good. And hello to Sarah. Thanks for joining us, Sarah. And Nicole. And Nicole would like to know where she can purchase the floral letter casings. So great question. Those ones in particular, are they a Spotlight?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they were from Spotlight. Yeah.
And they've got
They're
a
paper mache letter.
Yeah.
But so they come full, and I've just chopped off the top layer with a Stanley knife, and then filled it with florist foam, and then I sprayed the foam rather than soaking it. So,
Great.
yeah.
And so if you're after larger ones, you can purchase them through some of the florist wholesalers, and they're larger, and they actually are connected as well. So the whole word mum is connected, and they've got a plastic hard backing on them.
Yeah.
so
And it's already got the foam.
And it already has
yeah.
the foam in them, yeah. So similar to the love heart there, if you wouldn't mind holding that up, Isabel. The love heart.
So it's got the plastic backing and the foam already, so it's a bit more pre-made.
Yeah. So you can get them from any of the floristry wholesalers, or Spotlight has got the range of those. You can also get, I guess, like slightly more elaborate and more expensive. There's tin versions of the letters as well. You can get those.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
So do you think it will last just being sprayed?
No.
Won't last that long.
No. So the question was around, lasting. Will it last? No. So that would be for a one-day use only. Yeah. Yeah. If you wanted it to last longer and wanted to fully soak the foam, which is what you'd need to do, you'd need to put a plastic liner in there. So you have the paper mache, then a plastic liner, and then the foam. And that way you can fully soak the foam, and it will last longer. The other reason why that arrangement will last very long anyway is because the stems are so short, so they're not having to work really hard to drink up lots of water. So yeah, but look, a really cool environment. You might be surprised it might last even longer than the day.
And it depends what flowers you use, because I was sort of thinking you could have used like the straw daisies or something that would dry nicely as well, and then it would, you know,
It's a great idea.
It would look good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Excellent. All right, so that one's finished.
yeah, I might pop a little bit of moss, and then I'll get started on the heart.
Excellent. Sounds great. And that's coming along nicely, Kate. Yeah. Good. They're a beautiful big rose.
They are massive, aren't they? Yeah.
Yep.
And I really like the again. There's a bit of a theme tonight.
Yeah.
I just like the olive. They've got the different colours in it.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Gorgeous. Let's get a close up of this particular rose, because the colour variations in the petals are really stunning. And when we turn this arrangement around, you're going to see how even just that ties it all together beautifully. And have we got any questions here? Or comments? There don't have to be questions.
We're all busy filming.
Yeah. There's lots of cameras here, or phones.
Yeah, I have one question. Is the M, is it just 2 flowers? Do they go in 3? So it's just very uniform with 2 flowers, 2 flowers, 2 flowers. So do we just squash as many in as we can?
I've just squished in as many as I can. There was no real rhyme or rhythm. The M, I think, is one of the most difficult letters. I was sort of cursing it today. I can't be Father's Day. It's like, M. And these ones that from Spotlight, because it's quite a squished M.
Yeah.
So it was tricky figuring out like which flowers. I mean, yeah. You can kind
It looks like an M.
It does look like an M.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right.
Yeah, so you kind of, I think using colour blocking, like sort of one colour and one flower helps it look like the, to find the letter.
Yeah.
Whereas the U is a bit, more straightforward, that that's a U. But a couple of times I thought when I was doing that one that it looked like an H or so. But yeah, as close as packed in as you can, that's all I've done.
And so what Isabel's doing now is just putting in little bits of moss in between, just for that bit of detail. What we never want to see is any exposed bone.
Covering that.
The inside of the container. So moss is a nice way of doing that. It's probably a florist's best friend. And so let's have a spin of this one now. Can we? Is that okay? Yeah, yep. Terrific. So amazing.
We've got our roses in, and I'm just starting to place some orchids as well. I don't like to have too many flowers with a round head. Try and break it up the shape a little bit,
Sure.
so there's some contrast.
Yeah, and I think that works really well, and it's particularly in this style of design as well, to have that variation in shape. It's terrific. Well done. Excellent. So we'll keep going on that one. Now I'm again going to check for questions and comments. See how we're going for time. We're all good. Excellent.
I have a question. Kate,
Yep.
have you made a similar arrangement before?
I did a bit of a mock-up on Friday, just to make sure that the ideas in my head were going to work out in real time. So it wasn't exactly the same. I couldn't get the same coloured roses. Actually, I can show you. So these are the ones that I used the other day. They're starting to get a little bit soft now.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, they are stunning, aren't they? Just those colours are beautiful. So I've just worked around it a little bit. When I originally did it, I did a bit more of a steeper foliage, so I've changed the colours and brought them up a little bit lighter, so there's not too much contrast between the yellow and the and that sort of deep burgundy colour. Yeah, and I think probably if you're doing the career change course, the tropical arrangement is not so dissimilar to this shape. I kind of keep coming back to that, and I really like asymmetry too, so I always have something off to one side, or one side longer than the other. It's just little things that you go back to, I think.
Yeah. You know what the favourites are. Yeah. And what about you, Isabel? Do you prefer symmetrical or asymmetric arrangements? Would you go with both?
I like it to have a bit of symmetry but then a bit of wildness, so
Yeah.
neither extreme I think. It depends what I'm working with as well.
Yeah.
But I'd say, like hand-tied bouquets would be my favourite thing to make. So but just depending on the flowers and also who I'm giving it to.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I like pretty flowers, but I have a friend who's very modern
Yes.
and says, "Don't give me nana flowers."
Ah.
I'm like, but that's what I like.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of think, what would she like, but what still is kind of my style,
Sure.
and find
Find
happy medium.
Yeah.
So in between.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and that's certainly something that happens as a florist, that you'll at times need to make something that other people prefer, and that isn't quite in line with what we would prefer or want to make. but yeah, it's just about finding that happy medium, as you just said, that bit of that to absolutely make them happy and give them what they want. But at the end of the day, you're being happy with it too. So sometimes that's the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's good to have a challenge.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Keeps us all going. And so now you've got a beautiful rose there. I absolutely love that rose. Tell us the name of that one.
It's the pink lace. It's a cluster rose from Grandiflora. Yeah,
One
it's
of their
gorgeous.
newer varieties.
Yeah, the shape is just amazing.
They're really beautiful.
They look similar to the peony, but it's not.
Correct.
From distance,
Yeah.
that you can, first look and say, oh, this is peony. And I'm thinking peony is not in the season, but when you look close, it's
Yeah,
not.
like a smaller one. And sometimes they can even look like a ranunculi as well.
And I think Grandy have just brought out a whole lot of new varieties in the cluster and the lace.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, no, they're doing really, really good things with their roses, that's for sure. Which is great, because that way we get to have local roses all year round, which is terrific.
We got some peonies in from France,
Oh,
which
wow.
isn't great for sustainability or the environment, but gosh, oh gorgeous.
Make a lot of mothers happy on Mother's Day to get those.
Did you want
Amazing.
to talk about if you were like mossing the rest of it?
Yeah,
Like before I go further? or-
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Isabel. So with the heart shape that Isabel's got at the moment, we've just done one little cluster there. And so if you wanted something quick, simple, and also very cost effective, you could actually leave it with just that cluster there and then use moss around the rest of it. And you just pin that moss in. And so it would actually look very simple and very effective. And also, as I said, on a budget as well.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do that tonight, though.
No.
We're going to fill it up.
We're going opulent.
We're going all out for Mother's Day.
Yep.
Fill it.
Yeah, Yvette and I were having this discussion before. The first time I did a practice, I did wire them, but we were just discussing that the problem with that is that tulips like to grow to find the light. And so their little heads pop off the top of the wire. So I think it probably depends to some degree how fresh your tulips are too, because the stems will tend to, this one's a little bit floppy, and it's partly just the way it's grown too. They'll be a little bit stronger if they're super fresh. Yeah. But I think part of it is just making sure your placements go with the natural direction of the flower too. That helps.
I mean, it's one of those things. Some florists like and prefer to wire the tulips, and others just don't at all. I personally don't wire them. Yeah. And if you get them in on an angle, and you also have cut them on a very sharp angle as well, it's almost like getting a spear into the foam, so it's much easier to put them in as well. It's coming along well. And yeah, just a little bit there. Did you want some help with that, Isabel? No, come on, babe. Okay. Terrific. Alright, so have we got any thoughts on Mother's Day, or anybody knowing that they're going to be doing something extra special on Mother's Day? What will you be doing, Isabel?
I was like,
Dreaming about next Mother's Day?
yeah, I'm gonna have a mum to be day.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it will be a party weekend because it's my husband's 40th.
Oh, wow.
Also on Mother's Day.
How wonderful.
Yeah, and but we're having his party on a Saturday night,
Great.
which is also a Jewish festival like
Oh,
Beaumont.
wonderful.
So we're having a big
Oh,
bonfire party in
fantastic.
Dalesford. Yeah.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
So, but also then because when it's my birthday, it's Father's Day.
Oh,
So I said, well, I have to have a mum's to be on your birthday then. So.
And Kate's using the silver red here, which is a beautiful part of the Protea family. So not technically an Australian native, but grows extremely well here and is very happy in our soil, but not technically an Australian native. That's a great mix in there. And it goes so well with that gold pot.
Yeah,
Really, really
that's
good.
I'm
Yeah.
a bit addicted to this pot at the moment.
They're really great, those pots. Really great.
Where did you get all those gold pot?
It's from San's Burritos.
Santos burritos.
In
Yeah,
Footscray.
they're in Footscray. Yeah.
I think they're running a bit low on stock. They were very popular.
I'm not surprised. There's a gorgeous copper as well, and they went very quickly. Now, some of our students in the career change course, that one, I'm sorry, I failed to remember the name right at the minute, but they did find them at Kmart. And the only thing to keep in mind though, Louise, thank you. However, the ones at Kmart do have a hole in the bottom. So they drain. So using for floristry, they need to be sealed. So you need to keep that in mind if you're going to make arrangements into them. Perfect for pot plants. Not so perfect if you're just putting foam straight into them. So yeah, keep that in mind. Alright, let's have a look and see if we've got questions coming up. I'm about to ask some questions as we're nearing the finish of these arrangements. Yeah.
Do you find, like with that full pot, that you generally work with foam, or
In this one? Yeah, I have done. Yeah, it's interesting because we were talking about this other arrangement that was at the front of the table that Natalie did, and she's done hers into chicken wire.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried that before, but I think you could do that in this pot.
Absolutely.
Be a
Yeah.
bit, hopefully a bit more sustainable.
Yeah, so you could use chicken wire, or you could make a grid as well using tape. And so you just tape across the top, depending on the size of the pot, how many times you need to go across with the tape until it makes a grid, and then you can spear the flowers through, and the grid just holds it all together. So that's a very easy way to do it. The only downside to doing that is that it can be very tricky in changing the water in those arrangements. So to be able to do that, you almost need to pull your whole arrangement apart, pour the water out, top it back up. That's where then using an agent in the water to help to keep it clean will help. And then all you need to do is top up the water. Of course, then there's the argument of, well, now I'm using an agent which has a bleach in it, and then that's going to go down the sink at some stage. So, what's better, I'm not sure. Foam that will end up on landfill, or chemicals that go down into the waterways. Neither are perfect scenarios, but majority, I find, people at the moment don't have time to completely undo an arrangement, refill with water, and then do it again. Although it would be a nice scenario though, wouldn't it? Have the time to do that each day.
I guess you could potentially just make a really pretty posy, fill the container with water.
Absolutely, yeah. Bouquets. I think, honestly, I believe bouquets are just the way of the future, and that we need to keep practicing and making them more and more, because that's where we're going to be heading. And it's most certainly what you see mostly in Europe, particularly countries like Germany and the Netherlands, and in France, it's bouquet after bouquet after bouquet.
Versus
Lots and lots and lots of bouquets.
and that the differences in arrangements going like piece by piece into something? Versus
Yes, that's
making it-
exactly right. So the difference of a bouquet, great question, thanks. The difference of a bouquet is I've got a tiny miniature one here that I'll use as an example. This has been created in my hand, and so it's about layering the material on into itself until you end up with the shape that you like. So this is another little one here as well. So tiny little one. Okay, so there's no, I didn't want to put foam or anything into the beautiful Maxwell & Williams teacups. So I made the little posy, and then that would have water in it, and it would sit in there. And so of course you can make them in varying shapes, sizes, to go into any particular container. Yeah. So I just see that that's going to be what we're going to do more and more of as we move away from foam-based things. But yes, definitely chicken wire and tape and other things will have their place, and also the Kensins. So would you like to grab one of those Kensins, and then we can show that as well, because they're a fantastic product for being very environmentally friendly and moving away from some of those products. Thank you. So these are the beautiful Japanese owl spiky, very spiky. Kenzin is the correct Japanese word for it. So they're really, really heavy, very solid, and you just simply insert the flowers into there. So this would sit at the base of a container, and what is also great about these is because you can use them in a fairly shallow container. So beautiful dishes that you think maybe I otherwise couldn't use for an arrangement. Sit it into the base there, fill it with water, and then you can spear the flowers directly onto there, and that will hold them up straight. So I think actually in a previous, in one of our previous Bloom TVs, would have been one of the early first ones, the entire session was on sustainable floristry. It should be on our YouTube channel if you wanted to have a look on there, the Bloom College YouTube channel. And you can go and have a look, and we do use the Kenzin and a variety of different ways of sustainable floristry. But still in the industry, most definitely foam is still being used, not by all businesses, but by many. And but we're always coming up with ways of how we can work without it. In Europe, many years ago, the florists banned it, or boycotted it, I should say. And I think they lasted for about 6 months, and they just found it was just far too difficult and too restrictive in that time. And that was very early, like I would say that was in the mid maybe to late 90s. However, now I think that there's more developments, and there is a great product in the States as well, but it's a soil-based product, so not ready for Australia yet. But it is coming, and the industry is definitely working towards it, which is great, because it's an industry that requires the environment so much. I mean, every industry does, but our product, like it's our product that relies on a healthy environment. So we absolutely need to be working towards and promoting that as much as we can. All right. That's coming along very nicely.
It's good to keep those bits together because they look really cute.
So it's a mother and children.
I know, children.
That's what's lovely about the cluster roses, is that they do have the little buds coming off the side. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to get asking some questions. So we have 2 prizes. One is a Bloom College workshop of your choice. So that's a 2-hour workshop at any of our 3 locations, so Geelong, Collingwood or Port Melbourne. And the question is, what was the colour inspiration for Kate's arrangement? Where did that come from? And so it will be the quickest person to answer that online or here. So I'll check the comments section. Anybody here? Absolutely. 2 things, wasn't there? It was her mum and the season. So, well done. That must been too easy. We've got lots of minutes. All right, let's get a bit more challenging. The variety of rose that Isabel is not using now, but the variety that she used in her M. So we'll give that a close-up. So we don't want just the name, but we also want the rose grower, the name of the rose grower, and the name of the rose.
Not asking for much.
Getting hard now. And the price for that one is the online course, so that's the Flower Fundamentals course. So let's see who can answer that one. Probably a little bit easier for you at home because you can just skip back and listen.
Isn't that cheating?
I know it's brand of Flora, but I don't remember the type.
Sweet avalanche rose.
Well done.
But I didn't know it was brand of Flora.
Here, I could be wrong, so we're going to check this at the end and we're going to post the winners' names on the Facebook group, just in case I'm incorrect, but it looks like Belinda was the quickest at getting that one out. So, well done, Belinda. All right. So, I think we must need a few more giveaways. How about that? To finish us off.
So can I just ask Kate, because your mum won't be here, what will you do with your arrangement?
Well, I was planning to take it home, but I should really find somebody to give it to.
I can have it.
Yeah. It's a good question. To find somebody with the same favourite colours.
I think anyone will love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's gorgeous. Let's have a look at that from the front. I love what you've done here in that grouping, that cluster of the leaves here. That's beautiful.
Like a collar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It just brings in that beautiful colour of the silver reds so nicely.
What sort of leaf is it?
It's a good
Is
question.
it a maple?
That's what I thought it was. When it came up on the invoice, it just said autumn foliage.
Yeah.
I don't know for
Yeah.
sure.
It looks maple. It's gorgeous. Right. Nicole, do you have any questions?
No, but did I see a comment from someone saying they're a proud mum?
Oh, really? Mum was planning to tune in this evening,
Oh,
so
that's
maybe
Aw.
from my mum.
What's your mum's name, Kate?
My mum's name is Jan. Watson.
Oh.
I was going to say, yeah, my mum doesn't know how to enter comments, so she's not a proud mum.
Oh, hi Jan. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for
My
your
mum
lovely
not even know
comment.
what Facebook is.
All right. So we've got a question. How long ago did you finish your course here with us? You both did your courses at the same time.
Yeah.
But different classes, but same
Yeah,
time.
but we also did basics together years
We
ago.
did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had our first bloom experience with
Yes.
together.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that we finished September last
yeah.
year. Yeah.
September last year.
Mm.
Okay, terrific. All right. So there we go, Marielle. Now, Lexi is asking, when you create something, do you look at colours or species? So what's are you a colour-driven designer?
I think it depends on the arrangement for me.
Okay.
It could be either.
Mm.
I'm definitely a big fan of colour though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and less attracted to sort of pastel shades, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. What about you, Isabel? Are you more driven by colour or variety or
I
something
think
else?
it's colour and texture.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, I like lots of sort of odd looking,
Mm.
you know, either adding fruit and veg or
Yes.
the berries and yeah, all the sort of
Something of interest.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Great. Certainly, yeah, I'm most definitely driven by colour. And that's one of the reasons why I, when possible, I much prefer hand picking my flowers
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
suppliers or growers, or at the market, because that way you can, you know, pick and choose what works together.
Yep.
And I just find that nature does it so perfectly. It brings the right pinks out at the right time and the right blues out at the right time, and it just, you know, the particular shades of pinks and variations in oranges and reds, and it's well worth leading it up to nature sometimes because it does do it best.
If I able to like this stuff, can I able to add some more still like look taller, be nice or no?
Could you put something taller in it if you wish? Yeah, you definitely could. It would be preferable though to put it at the start. So to start taller, because depending on the height is how wide that you're going to come and how far out to the front that you're going to come. So it's going to dictate that. So if you're going to add height, then you really need to do that first, so that it's thought into the design. Yeah, great question. Thank you. I think we should have some more questions. Georgie, have you got a question we could throw out to the audience? We'll give away another workshop.
Alrighty. So, Kate has used these Sylvan Reds. There's another Sylvan Red that has pinkish stripe through it. Does anyone know the name of that one?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's my favourite. I can't stop using it at the moment. It kind of is like the pretty version of Sylvan Red. It's really, really
It's really
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And they dry really well too.
I've never seen them dry. I don't think I can live with them that long to dry them. I use them all up.
I've been
But
doing some
yeah.
at Thrive recently. I'm doing an internship there, and they seem to come back from the corporate arrangements.
Yeah.
Really in particularly good shape.
Great. Oh, you'll have to check the news feed for that one because I don't know yet.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know it
I think you
myself.
got an answer.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh, we've got pink ice, but that's a
No, that's the
that's
process. It's
different.
still
Yeah,
a
so
smaller cadendron.
good
but it's
thought,
got a-
Courtney, but it's smaller. It's
It's-
not the.
It's the pretty version of this Sylvan Red, and it's got just a different name.
All right. And one of the last questions, I think, before we wrap up, and that's from Lexi as well. What's your favourite flower? And I think it's one of the obvious questions that almost all florists get asked, isn't it?
Yep.
Do you have a favourite, Kate?
I have a couple. I really love David Austin roses.
Yeah.
So I definitely had some of those in my wedding bouquet. But I also love dahlias too.
Yeah. Very nice. What about you, Isabel? Do you have a favourite?
I think my favourite would be the coral peonies.
Yeah.
That
Stunning.
colour is just like I can't go
Magic,
past it.
isn't
It's,
it?
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think many other flowers come in that.
No.
colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think that's my favourite.
Terrific. All right, thanks for that question, Lexi. Actually, I'd like to ask everybody if they could post out their favourite colour. So, sorry, not their favourite colour, their favourite flower. So yeah, I'd love to know everyone's favourite
I
flower.
love
actually.
rose lily, but it's really hard to get.
The rose lily. Yeah. So Sunny Hill Flowers grow a beautiful rose lily.
But it's really hard.
We visited them. Yeah. Claire, do you have a favourite?
The peony or the orchid or daphne as well. There's quite a few.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Titi?
Dahlia.
Dahlia. Yeah. Do you have a favourite?
I would say dahlias, but also the big Icelandic poppies.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. Poppies are stunning. Very good. All right. So yeah, I'd love to hear everybody's favourites. Yeah, we've got hydrangeas up there. That's an absolute on top of the list for me too.
I know lots of florists, so people from class who don't like hydrangeas, don't like working with them.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. There's one of the things I remember as a child was that I had blue hydrangeas out one of the houses we lived in, out of the bedroom window. And yeah, just love them. Absolutely love them. So thank you for your questions and comments. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your beautiful designs and your inspiration. I'm sure that you've inspired many. One of the things that I'd like to ask of those here and also for you at home as well is if you have any particular topics that you'd love for us to run, then we'd love to know about it. because we've got a really good full year ready for you on Bloom TV, but we'd love to incorporate anything else that you may have wishes for or wants that you'd love to see us make, learn how to make, tips, advice, knowledge on whatever it might be flower related. We'd love to cover it. It may be a particular designer that you'd love for us to have in, whatever it might be. So we'd love to hear it. If you want to post it into the comments section, that'd be great. So thanks for having us. Thanks to all the bloomers for attending, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. If you'd like more information on our Bloomers Club, you'll find that, I'm sure there'll be a link for it somewhere on the Facebook page, but also our Butters as well. So our Butters is our free community that's been here on Bloom TV tonight and joining us, and also receiving our newsletters as well. And for many of you, you've attended our workshops and courses as well. So thanks for your support. It's been wonderful. We welcome it, and we'll see you next month.
What was the answer to the Georgie's question?
Oh, thank you.
Katie's blush.
Katie's blush.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if anyone got that.
That's where I said
How appropriate. Very appropriate.
We had it in our garden when I was really small.
Oh, there you go. So Katie's blush. We'll see if anybody got that, and we will, get the prize to that one. All right. Thanks so much.